Hi everyone, I'm Golibe Onwigwe and you're welcome back to my YouTube channel if you're a returning subscriber. And if this is your first time being here, thank you for joining the family. You are very welcome. It is good vibes and good vibes only. Feel free to scroll through my channel, watch a video or two, share to your family and friends. And before you leave, please don't forget to subscribe, like this video and drop a cute comment. Today, I'll be doing one of my most requested videos of all time, a brow tutorial. And this tutorial is going to be beginner friendly, very detailed, and kindly ignore how my face looks like right now. My makeup was half done, but yeah, we're going to get right into this video. First, I have to moisturize my lips because we're going to do a lot of talking today. So before I start drawing my brows, I have to take you guys on the basics of, brow knowledge and all of that. So first, I'm starting with tools, and the first tool I'm showing you is this brow pencil by Beautylinebydidi, my absolute favorite brow product of all time. And it also has a spoolie brush attached to it. Next are brow brushes, basically an angled brush and a blending brush. And then the next products you need are two shades of concealers, one that's a shade lighter and one that's your perfect shade. And lastly, you'd need a brow gel, but that's optional. So before we go right into this video, I'm just tucking my hair in because we're going down to business. Get your writing materials, get your book, get your jotter, because today I'm going to be giving you full details on how to get those brows snatched to stupor. Are you ready? Are you ready? Okay, let's get right into it now. So first, we're starting with basic brow knowledge, and the three things you need to know are the brow head, the brow arc, and the brow tail. Now, the brow head is basically the start of the brow. It is the part that should have hair-like strokes, and it's the part where you should apply less pressure. The brow arc is the part of the brow that gives the face definition. While drawing the arc, you should be as precise as possible, and it should be of moderate height, so not too high and not too low. And then the brow tail is basically the tail of the brow. You should be able to let both lines of the brow meet at one point, and it should be of moderate length. Next is outlining the brows, and to outline my brows, I'm going to be using the spoolie brush that is attached to the Beautylinebydidi browgasm pencil to basically just brush my brow hairs upwards so as to create a clean space for me to work with, and also for me to see what I'm working with, because I'm going to be starting with the lower brow, right? So the bottom part of my brow is what I'm going to be starting with. So after doing that, I'm just kind of outlining my brow. As you can see, I don't really have an outlined brow, a defined brow, I don't know. So yeah, there's no tail in my brow, but we're still going to snatch these brows. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm placing the body of the pencil by the side of my nose, and also basically just marking my brow head. So I'm going to put a mark at the beginning of my brow, that's my brow head. And so maintaining the same position, I'm basically just dragging my brow pencil all the way to my arc and placing a mark there. And then I'm dragging it all the way to my tail, or where my tail should be, where my tail should end actually. I'm placing a mark there. And so because I don't have a brow tail, I'm basically using my eyelid to trace it. So your brow tail should not surpass the outer corner of your eyelid. So I'm placing a mark there. Normally I do not do this, but because I'm trying to teach and I'm trying to make this video beginner friendly, I'm doing this. I'm already used to my brows, so I just draw it naturally, seamlessly. So now that we have created marks, basically, I'm just going to use a line to trace out all those lines, or those three lines that we have created. And you can see I'm not being too fast. I'm doing it gradually, gently, this is how I draw my brows. I go in and out. I do it very gently because I really don't want to make mistakes while I'm drawing my brows, so that I don't have to conceal too much, if you get what I mean. So if my brows can look perfect even without me concealing it, then that's what I love, and that's what I always aim at. So right now I'm just doing an overall measurement. We've seen that all the lines connected successfully, although there are some rough edges at the tail, but that doesn't really matter because we're going to fix that. And don't be scared to go in if you feel like you need to make some corrections. Now to draw the top, I basically just brushed my brow hairs up, and I'm placing my brow pencil just where my brow hair stops, and I'm just creating a line following the same line that I drew under. I'm going in very gently and just creating a curve just above the arc of my lower brow. Now you can see that the line on the upper part of my brow started a bit further away from where the lower part started, and this is because I'm trying to make the head of my brow look as natural as possible. To fill in my brow, I'm brushing my brow hairs up and just following the direction in which I brushed my brow hairs, I'm creating very light hair-like strokes. Pay attention to where I'm holding my brow pencil. You should hold your brow pencil at the middle to avoid too much pressure. It helps you control the amount of pressure that you're placing on the brow. And then I'm gradually going in with my spoolie brush, basically to shade the brow, and it helps give the light effect. That's the light brow effect that I normally create whenever I do my makeup. I also started from the arc of my brow down to the tail of my brow just because I'm trying not to apply too much pressure at the head of my brow, so I'm gradually going towards the head of my brow. Now for the head of my brow, like we already established in the beginning of this tutorial, it should be the part where you should apply the least amount of pressure. And so using hair-like strokes, I'm just creating lines. And then afterwards, I'm measuring again to see or to be sure that the head of my brow isn't surpassing where my natural hairlines start from. And that's it on how to draw your brow. To conceal or clean your brow, you would need 2 concealers. One concealer that's 1 or 2 shades lighter than your normal shade, and one that is your perfect shade. Or you could as well use your foundation. This is the remnant of the foundation I used on my face for this look. So I'm just swatching the concealer that I'll be needing for my brow on this mixing palette, and I'm going to be cleaning my brow in sections. So I'm going to be using the concealer that is my perfect shade to clean the head and tail of my brow, and I'll be using the concealer that's a shade or 2 shades lighter to clean the arc of my brow. This is basically to give your arc definition. So when I'm using a lighter shade, it makes that part that I'm applying the shade on to pop more. And like we established in the beginning of this video, the arc is the part that gives your face more definition. So I want my face to look snatched, and so I'm using a lighter shade of concealer at the arc, and basically just cleaning it gently and dragging the remnants down. So I'm blending it all the way into my eyelid. Then I'm just cleaning the tail as well as the head of my brow. I started from my arc because I like to pay attention to my arc first. Once my arc is looking perfect, then every other thing goes. I don't know if you get me. Another important thing to note when concealing the brow is to make sure you do not extend the concealer beyond where you have drawn your line. This would only make your line look longer and it will take more time to clean. I also do not clean the top of my brow because while drawing, like I initially said, I make them look as neat as possible. But if you feel like you need to touch up the top, you can as well go in with a concealer. And next, I'm going in with my blending brush. This one is from Beautylinebydidi. I'm going to attach the number on the screen or in the description box. I'm basically just blending all the concealer together. And this blending brush is super nice. I love it. Now, I'm certain this is a step that most people miss, and it is setting the brows. It is very important because you're placing concealer, you also have to set it. So going in with a powder palette, I am setting the arc of my brow with a light shade of powder, a shade that is very close to the shade of concealer I used for that part of my brow. And then I would also be setting the head and the tail of my brow with a powder shade that is also very close to the shade of concealer I used for those parts. And lastly, I'm using this brow gel from Beautylinebydidi to basically just go over my brow and make my brow look lighter, because this particular shade is a light shade. I'm going to be attaching it on the screen, and that's it. I hope you were able to learn a thing or two. I really loved this tutorial. I tried to make it as detailed as possible, and yeah, I hope you like it too. This is the finished look. If you have gotten to this part of my video, it means you are the real OG because you stayed till the end. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video to encourage me to put out more content for you all, and please drop a cute comment. Tell me what you think. You could also suggest more tutorials that you feel like I should create, and see you in my next video. Bye.